I'm Ruadhan, and I'm with the Seasonal Tokens project, and I'm going to talk about proof-of-work mining and some new developments that make it possible to do things with cryptocurrencies that we couldn't do before. And I'll give an example of that. So when a cryptocurrency is mined using proof-of-work, it has a cost of production because it requires energy to do the work. And there's an economic value that comes from the certainty that the cost of production was paid. So proof-of-work mining allows you to convert energy into currency. And there have been occasional proposals to ban proof-of-work mining because of the amount of energy that it consumes. But the fact is that proof-of-work mining is gradually being integrated into the world's energy infrastructure because a lot of energy is wasted during the process of energy production. For example, if you're drilling for oil, then you need to produce natural gas as a byproduct, and this is usually burnt in flares and wasted. So instead of wasting that energy producers can use it to mine Bitcoins and then use those Bitcoins to pay for some of their operating costs. So proof-of-work mining makes it cheaper to produce energy. And we don't have another technology that can replace it because it's exactly the technology that converts energy into currency. Now, this is obviously a breakthrough in technology, and we'd expect a breakthrough like that to be followed by a lot of innovation and a lot of new technologies being built on top of it. But there's a problem that's been holding the technology back, which is called a 51% attack. If somebody else has more computational power than you, they can rewind your blockchain and they can steal money. And a lot of cryptocurrencies have had millions stolen in 51% attacks. This means that a proof-of-work blockchain isn't secure unless it's consuming a massive amount of resources. You can't have a small cryptocurrency project based on proof of work. It has to be very large to be secure. But that's changed in the last few years with the introduction of mineable tokens. These tokens don't have their own blockchains. They run on Ethereum or another blockchain. This means that the security is provided by Ethereum, so it's not necessary to consume a lot of energy to be secure. So, for example, in 2018, OX Bitcoin was introduced, which was the first mineable proof-of-work token. And since then, there have been several other tokens. There's been OX Litecoin and BN Bitcoin and others. And what's important about proof-of-work tokens is that they don't need to be very large to be secure. That makes it possible to have multiple proof-of-work tokens as components inside a bigger system. And we can control the rate of production of each token, which gives us control over the relative cost of production of the different tokens, and that gives us some control over the relative prices of the tokens. So now we can create a system with multiple prices, and we can slowly control how those prices change relative to each other over time. An example of this is the Seasonal Tokens project. There are 4 tokens, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and they've been designed so that their prices will slowly oscillate around one another over the course of years. And the reason for doing this is that when prices predictably oscillate around one another, it's possible to keep trading the more expensive tokens for the cheaper ones, which will become the most expensive tokens in time, and then you can trade again. So it makes it possible to keep increasing the number of tokens in the investment, and that means that the investment can grow in value over time, even if the average dollar price of the tokens doesn't change. So there's been about 4 months of trading with liquid markets, and you can see from the historical data that the relative prices of the tokens have been staying close to their theoretical values based on the cost of production. The prices aren't wandering away from their theoretical values, so they're under control. And next month, the rate of production of Spring will be cut in half and the cost of production will double, and we can expect the price of Spring to rise above the other tokens over time. So this is a proof of concept. It shows that we can create multi-token systems and we can control the relative prices of the tokens. And this is one example of what we can do with proof-of-work tokens. Over the coming years, we can expect to see more innovation and more applications of proof-of-work mining now that these new possibilities are available.